y'all. It's the Amanda Seales Show. I'm Amanda Seales, and now it's time for Blackuraate News. All right. A black man named Reginald Burks was given a choice by the Ozark Municipal Court in Alabama. Write an apology to a police officer or spend up to 30 days in jail.
Wow.
Let's listen to what Mr. Burks had to say about this.
I was pulled over. He wrote me a ticket. He stood at the car. He wouldn't move in front of my mirror on my car. And I kept asking him to move, and he wouldn't move. So I told him, eventually, I just told him, hey, man, get your out of the way, because I can go take my kids to school. They're already late because of you.
You think that this would be an issue if you were white?
Probably not. We used to it down here. I'm just sick of it. Just like my lawyer told me, they're going to continue to harass and do whatever they can as long as we let them get away with it. That's why I'm standing up now, for maybe to make a stop to something. Put a stop to something, I hope.
So here's the thing. This man was not charged with disorderly conduct. He was not charged with any crime. He was speeding. He went to court. He pled guilty. He went to pay the fine. The judge, Nicholas Bull, instructed Burks to write an apology to the officer or face jail time, which Burks refused, citing the demand as unfair and potentially unconstitutional.
Yeah.
Now, legal experts argue that the judge's demand absolutely violates Burks's First Amendment rights, as it forces an apology without any indication that Burks's words incited violence or posed a serious threat. Civil attorney David Harrison suggests that the judge's order could lead to a lawsuit for violating constitutional free speech rights. So we're just seeing more and more egregious efforts by people in authoritarian positions to exert white supremacist ideologies of discrimination, of belittlement, etc., on black folks. And it's going to get worse. And we also see that it's often also supported by other black folks. So it's not just like it's just happening in a silo.
Yeah.
I understand, though, what this brother's saying, where he's like, I just have to stand up for it. Like, I stand up against it. I can't just let it ride. And that's what so many people would probably say, like, oh, just write the letter and just let it go. Mm-hmm. With those days, that's what it's been for the past 25 years. It's been a lot of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever, man. Like, we just trying to live. And we've gotten now to a point where the pendulum is swinging very quickly backwards. Mm-hmm. And it's going to cause a lot of us to find some heart that maybe didn't have it before.
Yeah, I just think that that's crazy that the judge felt like that was something that was in his power to make somebody to apologize. It just all seems very petty. It seems like the police officer was being petty, and it seems like the judge is reinforcing with even a more pettier judgment.
Well, it's also juvenile, and you know that they love to belittle black people, particularly black men. This is what you would do to a child. You would ask the child to write an apology letter to someone else in the class.
Yep.
And that is how they're treating this man. And the idea that he has 30 days in jail facing him for this, but it's also just trying to make people annoyed. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm just going to inconvenience you. And that's where we're at, man. They're continuously trying to inconvenience black folks. But we understand why Mr. Burks would not want to write this apology letter. So we decided that we would write our own letter.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. We decided we would, because, you know, he's busy. He already said he got kids. Like, he's got stuff going on. So we'll handle it.
Okay.
Dear officer and judge, I'm writing this letter to address the crime of not catering to the officer's fragile ass ego. It is truly regrettable that my words cause such distress to someone in a position of power and authority, a role that clearly requires an extraordinary level of emotional resilience and thick skin, sometimes white skin. Living under such an oppressive and racially biased justice system has clearly clouded my judgment. I should have recognized that the real crime here was not my alleged speeding, but my failure to bolster this officer's weak-ass self-esteem. Speaking of speeding, I'd like to add that your unique use of cruise control as a substitute for a radar gun is an avant-garde law enforcement technique. Perhaps, officer and judge, you both might take advice from the great poet and philosopher, Andre Benjamin 3 Sachs 3000, and go back to school to study human behavior so that you know who the hell you're dealing with. This could prevent future incidents in which your authority and sensitivities are grievously offended. Yours sincerely, Reg.
I thought you was gonna say Clifford. I thought that was T.I.
No. No, Andre said he wanted to go back to school for like anthropology or some shit. So there you go. We know we always have to ask this question. Why should black people care? Because with great power comes great responsibility. Our justice system is very irresponsible. Did I really sound like T.I.?
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't the goal. All right. Well, up next, what former Cash Money rapper has been ordered to clear his lyrics with his parole officer? We'll get into it. It's the Amanda Seales Show.